Hi there, this is a short video about two gramophones or phonographs, disc gramophones, which are a little bit out of the ordinary and are sort of equal and opposite, so that sounds a bit complicated, so let's get on with the first one. Here it is in its leatherette, vaccine covered carrying case. Well, it's got a round loudspeaker there, a single knob there, and if we open it you can see you can actually carry some records inside it, mounted, screwed together in fact with a nut and bolt, which is quite a clever way as long as you don't screw it up too tight. It's got a pickup arm, a garrard, which is a sort of semi-lightweight moving iron type with a needle in there. But, oh, what's this here? Yes, under the arm there is a winding handle. Yes, it's a hybrid machine, which is spring driven, but it has an electric pickup and a small battery powered amplifier inside, and a small 4 or 5 inch speaker. Yes, this was made by a firm called Vida, who were very widely known for being a maker of batteries, dry batteries, and also a very extensive range of miniature battery portable radio receivers, domestic radio receivers, mostly from the early 50s, well on into the 60s. But I can't tell you the exact date of this because I haven't been able to find anything about it online, which is very strange because everything is usually online. I probably didn't look in the right places, but most hits for Vida will give you battery portable radios, or batteries themselves, dry batteries. It's got 3 valves in it of this type, which we call in the B7G base, 7-pin miniature valves, and it has one DF91, which is the US equivalent is a 1T4, which is a general purpose amplifying pentode, and it has 2 DL92s, which is a little output pentode, known in the US as the, I believe it's a 3S4, and it has 2 DL92s in push-pull as a little transformer inside, and unfortunately it's not working properly, but here's a photograph of the innards. But it obviously dates from after the end of World War II and probably to the late 1940s. This type of valve I don't believe was around before World War II. And of course with the advent of microgroove records, a single player would be obsolete, and so we can wind it up. It's got a garrard motor, and of course the arm is as we said, is a garrard, is also a garrard, and the motor is in quite runs very silently and is in excellent condition. I haven't lubricated it at the moment, there's no need to do so. But what about power? Well, the compartment for the battery is here, so to get at that we need to take the turntable circuit, take off the turntable, and then we can gain access to the battery. And it tells us on the back of this strip that it had a special battery, a Vida battery type L5509, which has been specially designed for this unit. So clearly if you had one of these you had to have a special battery, and only that one would do for it. So, but more to the point, if this dates from the late 40s, what are we going to do 60 or 70 years later? Well, of course these little valves require 1.4 volts for the filament, and that's no problem. We've got a 1.5 volt dry cell there which will run them quite happily for some time. But the problem arises with these, the red and black wire, which require 90 volts, so we'll have to rig up a supply of 90 volts somehow. This is the remains of a unit I dismantled for some other purpose, but it does have a 6x4 rectifier valve there, a smoothing capacitor there, and there was an octal valve holder into which I have put a VR105, which is a neon voltage regulator, which will give us 105 volts, which is a little bit more than we need, so I've put a resistor in there just to take the edge off it. Ah, yes, the neon has come on. And if I darken the room, you can see the neon stabilizer glowing away to itself. It's very pretty. Here's the brake, which starts and stops the turntable, and it's actually got a little rod let into it which drops down through the motor board, and when you release the brake, little chirp as the amplifier comes on, it actually operates a switch below, so when you put the brake on, the amplifier goes off. There's no tone control, just a single volume control. So although I'm afraid the sound is distorted, I haven't worked on it for a reason which I'll explain. Off we go, and we've got a waltz this time. Well, sorry the sound's so creaky, but the thing is alive. There are only 4 capacitors in that little amplifier. 2 of them are probably alright, but 2 of them are electrolytics, which would certainly need changing after this period of time. And the reason I haven't done that is because I'm not sure whether to keep it cosmetically as it is or change it. I mean, I haven't cleaned it, but it's in quite spruce condition. So that might want to be worked on seriously at another time. Okay, here's our other machine. It's a large, chunky, black portable gramophone, a very, very common type. Handle, with the leather's gone on the handle, of course. And if we open it, the catches, you'll see, if they will open, there they are. Inside, it's quite impressive. It's got a 12-inch turntable, so that's one of the reasons it's quite so big. So we'll just see how long this big beast can run. I'll just set the turntable in motion and do this stop clock there, and we'll see how long it'll run for. Well, it's still running. Turntable's still going round. How long has it been running for? Well, it's been running for about 41 minutes. So what on earth is going on? Well, the answer is, actually, I've been teasing you. It's actually got an electric motor, and here is the mains power going in, so it would run almost indefinitely. Well, the question naturally arises, why should a portable gramophone have an electric motor? And the answer is, I have no idea. Let's have a look at it. Remove the circlip, which holds the turntable. Oops! Oh no! Oh well, we'll look for the circlip later. And I need to get the turntable off. Chaos. Okay, I know about this. Well, we'll look for the circlip later. And what we now need is a hammer just to tap this, but I haven't got one, so I'll use a pair of pliers in the tradition of our Birmingham. There we are. Well, again, we're looking at a Garrard product. The motor is under there, and there's a belt which drives this larger pulley onto which the turntable mounts. Well, this gramophone is quite difficult to explain. There's not a single maker's mark or identification apart from the Garrard turntable and motor to give indication as to who made it or why. And with the first gramophone we saw, it was entirely logical that with the advent of miniature battery valves, that you could make an electric record player, but the power supply for a turntable would be out of the question, so we have a spring-driven turntable, and that's quite logical. But to explain a machine like this, which is ostensibly a portable you can carry about, but which you have to plug into the mains, is less easy to explain. Probably the only explanation, it was intended for use in schools, which had a mains supply on. Because of its date, about 1930, it will run on AC or DC, and it will run on anything between 100 to 240 volts, AC or DC, and the reason it had to cater for that is because in the United Kingdom at that time there was no standardised electric supply. Unfortunately, this is not the correct sound box for it. It's actually been cobbled, it's broken, it's been fixed on by sellotape. But now that the motor has had 45 minutes to warm up, it's raring to go. So let's have a bit of early 20s dance music. Well, there you have a couple of slightly different gramophones. Hope you enjoyed it. And oh, the record, that was the High Brown Blues on a Guardsman record, which is a British minor label from the 1914 to 1928. And the band, well, you don't often hear the Bar Harbour Society Orchestra playing that raunchy. It's an early one, so I think perhaps if they did actually play in Bar Harbour, maybe after a few weeks the people that had gone to Bar Harbour said, can you tone it down a bit?